Get ready for a rant video, because that's all this is. All right, let me set this up. We're just going old school here. No fancy nothing. Okay, so I had a whole idea what I wanted to do today, and it didn't work out. So we're in this situation now. And what I'm going to do instead, so that I continue to stay with the goal of posting a video and getting it out and sharing something I think is valuable, I'm going to share some learnings with you. So we're going to go through that now. What I'm doing, first off, the way you can do this to remember stuff that's been helpful for me, ChatGPT. So I created like a project for myself. And then anytime I have like an aha moment, I hear something in a podcast, a friend tells me something, I make a huge mistake, I put those things in there and I reflect on it and talk to ChatGPT through the voice memo thing. And that's been super helpful. So that's what's helping me now with this plan B of just recording something this way. So speaking of which, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I found this really applicable. Basically in this podcast is by Alex Hormozi, the game. And he talked about how we set these goals, we set these high standards for ourselves, the things we want to do, and everybody wants them. Everybody wants them on the outside looking in. So let's use a classic example of, I want to earn $1 million, okay? If you want to earn $1 million, we all want that, but few is what he says. Few are willing to pay the price it would take to get to that goal. It doesn't need to be making $1 million, it could be whatever you want. You want to get married, you want to have X car, you want to live in X area, you want to have X spiritual stuff in your life, whatever it is. You set this goal, there's going to be a price associated to that thing to get there. And this was super applicable to me recently, just because this phase of the business I'm in, man, it's been difficult. So I'm in this phase of this business where we're bootstrapped, meaning we don't have any outside capital. So all the money that we have to use comes from clients that we're currently working with. And then we pay our employees, and then we pay for the tools we have, and then we pay for all the other things. And then whatever money's left over, I can either use that for my own life, or I can put it back into the business. So we have limited resources to use. And it's frustrating because this phase of the business, I'm trying to like also up skills. So a tricky part you run into as a bootstrap founder, in my opinion, is because you have limited resources, I can't just go hire top tier talent to do X thing I want. So right now I'm doing sales and marketing. I don't really want to do sales and marketing, to be honest. I think it's cool. I don't really want to do it. But I also can't just go hire someone for hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for the resources that we have to just be a really good A player in that field. I can't do that. So then it's like, all right, well, what's the second choice? Second choice is you hire someone that's a little scrappy. Well, where I've gotten burned on this is I would go and hire someone that's scrappy. I know nothing about the skill, hence why I hired someone. And then I hire them, and then they either do their own thing and don't really care about what I'm doing, or they don't know what to do and I don't know how to guide them on what to do. And then I just pay all this money basically for zero results, which is equally as frustrating, and it's happened a lot. And reverting back to this thing with the podcast I'm referring to, is he said that everybody wants this thing, but the struggle is the thing that you're actually paying the price for. So I probably slaughtered that, but basically what he means is, if again, that goal is to make $1 million a year, the struggle to get to $1 million a year, the skills, the lessons, all that stuff you have to learn along the way to get to that goal, that's the price that you're actually paying. So the way it reflected to me in my situation and feeling frustrated as I am at the moment, was essentially that, which is like another example we got is we're running paid ads. We're trying to figure out how to crack the code on ads. We've never done ads. No one in my company does ads. We don't really know how to do ads. And so the price I'm currently paying for the situation I've been dealt, since again, I can't just go hire someone that's just going to do it for me. I have to do it the way I think is best, which is I have to somewhat learn these skills enough to be dangerous and enough to know how I would guide someone on how to do it that would be better than me in the future. But until then, I got to learn it myself. And so when I'm learning it myself, the price really is a price. Like I'm losing thousands of dollars per month by spending money on ads that are garbage, right? Like I film a video that's garbage, and it's like, well, the price of learning how to make great content or great videos or great ads is literally the price you just paid. Like you spent thousands of dollars to produce that, or you spent thousands of dollars on these ads that never turned into anything, or you spent thousands of dollars on this landing page that was crap. Hopefully it's not $1,000, that should be free, but you get the idea. You get the idea is that there's actually a price associated to these things, and that's the price that I'm paying to learn that skill, to then be able to hire someone, to then be able to get us to the next level, to then get us to level 2 or level 5 or level 20 or whatever level you're on in the business. So I thought it was a cool way to kind of reframe the way I think about stuff, and kind of motivating in a way, in all honesty, to think of it that way. because now instead of just feeling so let down or like annoyed or frustrated that, man, like ran another ad and it didn't work, or we sent people here and it didn't work. We set up a lead magnet and that didn't work. We gave them this offer and that didn't really click. Or, I mean, you test so much, you do so much to try to get stuff to work, that gets taxing and kind of like takes away the motivation, because you're just sitting there always thinking like, man, when am I going to see the payout? And even when it doesn't work now, it's been a little bit easier to now say, I'm that much closer, right? Like I spent some money, I learned some stuff. As long as I'm doing the chat GPT thing where I'm recording my thoughts, recording things I'm learning, I learned something, I got something out of it. I learned, right? Like I got some type of value out of this thing, and it put me that much closer to being able to continue to unlock this thing. So I almost look at it as like a staircase now, instead of just like a flat line. Like, okay, I'm spending all this money, it's not working, okay, all of a sudden worked. Instead, to me, it's more like a staircase where it's like, okay, I did this, didn't really work, I learned this, okay, I'm not gonna do that next time. Okay, I tried this, that didn't work, okay, I learned that, I'm gonna try this next time. Did this, got a little bit better, gonna learn this next time. And then you're kind of going up this staircase, getting to that end result. So pretty cool. I feel like for me, I've somewhat felt alone on this. It's been hard to find people that talk about that part of the journey. And again, usually in tech, I'm usually associated with people that just have a bunch of money from the get. And so they're like, I just hired someone, they're really good at it, and it just worked out. And instead of me, it's like grinding to learn this skill on something I have no knowledge on, editing videos, making content, marketing, sales, so that I can then have enough knowledge to know how to hire and guide someone once they're on my team. And that's just felt like a slog and slow. And the reality is it's getting us that much closer every time to the next level. So I thought that was cool. Thought I would share. Hopefully that provided some value to you too. And hopefully tomorrow I don't run into the same issue where I don't start filming earlier in the day, or the idea I had doesn't work out. And this won't be just a straight talking head for 8 minutes or whatever this is going to end up being after editing. But one way or the other, hopefully this was helpful. I know it was for me to just talk out loud. And if nobody else watches, nice to kind of see my younger self talking about this cool lesson that I've learned, and be cool to reflect on. Cool. Thanks.